live now to the Information Ministry, where Tourism Minister Catherine Apeku is addressing journalists. Thanks for your company.
Specialization as a tourist attraction. Support micro and small-scale enterprises within the sector for job creation, with a lot of emphasis on women and youth. Our iconic project in the offing that I love most, Center of the World project. Ghana is the center of the world. The ministry did not say it. It is where the Greenwich Meridian and the people of the United Kingdom and the world are saying. It was determined by the authorities and powers of this world at a meeting which took place almost a century before Ghana became a nation. Ghana is the center of the world. And as a ministry, in collaboration with Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, the Tema Golf Club, and the Tema Community One Presbyterian Church, under the auspices of GTDC, we intend to make and market this phenomenon to the world and within our nation. We know that religiously this is a seller. Already people are finding their way to the Presbyterian Church at Tema to pray. Our first president, Saadia, to embark on pilgrimages to that part of Tema once a year for a spiritual retreat. We believe that with good marketing globally and locally, people could be attracted to have their weddings at the center of the world, set up businesses and advertise their good works which are manufactured locally at the center of the world. And we will link up, which we have already initiated. We were in the UK to have a very lengthy meeting with the Greenwich Meridian, and there is so much that we could benefit from this association. The Tema Golf Course could be accredited to host tournaments at the center of the world, including the likes of PGA tournaments. There is so much to be thankful for in this nation. We are the center of the world. We are therefore going to transform Tema Country Golf Club, with their consent of course, because we signed MOUs with them, into a first-class golf resort, the Presbyterian Church into a religious tourism site, develop a passenger and cruise ship terminal, which the GPHA has already acceded to, and within the port we will construct an iconic tower representing the center of the world. When you go to France, you see the Eiffel Tower. When you go to Germany, you have the Brandenburg. When you go to UK, Statue of Liberty. Ghana, already with my dynamic CEO of Ghana Tourist Development Company, has an investor who has offered to pay, it is public knowledge, I can share it, offered to pay for the feasibility study for this construction of the iconic center of the world. But I throw the challenge to our creative arts sector that we will open it up. We want to see the designs, we want to bring it up, and Krekumante and I are talking about it. It is not going to be a reality show, but it will be an open where people will actually bring designs of what should be the iconic center of the world look. When you go to Senegal, you see that effigy, and that is associated with Dakar, Ghana, under Mr. Kojo Odami Enchi, with the tacit support of his brother Akwesi Ajeman, under the leadership of Madam Afeku. We will make sure the best will be selected and the developers will listen to us. Now, the Mooney Lagoon ecotourism project. The ministry, through GTA, has also secured investor interest in the redevelopment of the Mooney Lagoon area in Winneba. We have the land documents as an ecotourism enclave. Again, feasibility has been done, stakeholder engagement is ongoing, and an MOU using the Kintampo model will soon be signed with the Wildlife Division of Forestry Commission to kickstart construction. Another area of interest that we have been working on assiduously, and it is as a result of engagement with the stakeholders, is highway rest stops. This nation does not have many to boast of. And when you're traveling, you see our people, both tourists and ourselves, stopping by the roadside and doing the needful, which is really an eyesore. So GTA has already embarked on the highway rest stops project. The first of such eco-friendly highway rest stops will commence soon at Gomwa Asin between Apam Junction and Makasim. Other areas that have been earmarked by the GTA, of course, with the approval of its board, is Agona Junction in Western Region, Asin Manson in Central Region, and between Kintampo and Tamale in the Brongahafo and the Northern Region. Now we give you the status of the GMMB, Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. The newly inaugurated board has set in motion an aggressive asset audit in all 10 regions, beginning with Greater Accra. And they just finished this Friday. And they had so much to share, but our space is not enough. In the coming weeks, we'll give them the opportunity to have their weekly updates in the medium that you so much share with us, the papers. The Osu Christian Board Castle, which was commissioned by His Excellency the President as a presidential museum, is getting some support from a Norwegian foundation because of the visit of the Queen of Denmark. The Keta Fort has also attracted German development support, and discussions are ongoing to seal it and ensure that it is rehabilitated. Now, this same initiative undertaken with the support of the director at the Museums and Monuments Board will transcend across the nation so that our forts and castles will be useful, attractive, and tourist friendly. Again, the model that is being used at Kintampo, where the monies are collected and the 3 parties that signed the MOU have their agents there and it's logged in a bank on a daily basis, it will be used across the nation at all tourist sites where revenue is collected for transparency. The museums have a lot going on in Elimina, Cape Coast, Axim, Benin, and other sites that we do not and cannot see the revenue that is accruing. That will end with this dynamic board and their able director, Maminana Okra. National Theatre. On the eve of its 25th anniversary, we launched the e-ticketing system to streamline revenue generation in the arts and theatre sector. And they are one step ahead. They went technology. Madam Amy, kudos to you. It will be replicated using technology alongside all the tourist sites so that the ministry will know and see and have an oversight responsibility on the IGF that is accrued within the sector. It is all part and parcel of our oversight responsibility. And remember, Martin Amidu is coming. Industry training. Within the year, the ministry provided funding to Ghana Tourism Federation, GATOF, the private sector arm of our ministry, to start some industry training. Training of the informal sector was held in Accra and Cape Coast. Other regions will follow in this year. In September, the Hospitality, Tourism and Catering School began a joint project to rehabilitate, refurbish and restructure the institute. The young lady, Madam Jenny Adade, is working day and night, thank you, and pushing HOTCAT to be a viable hospitality training school. This entity will be commissioned, and I am told, she has reliably informed me, they're about 70% complete with their rehabilitation. So under the rejuvenated HOTCAT, which we hope to change the name soon, all the 10 satellite regional campuses will be established under the dynamism of our CEO of HOTCAT and with the direct supervision of its stakeholders, GTA, my good self. HOTCAT is also instituting a mobile training school, and they will have content on Tourism TV where you can have the chefs teaching you how to cook Ghanaian cuisine. Now, my favorite sector. We save the best for last. Creative arts sector. Given the mandate of the ministry, we usually do not wish to single out any one of the subsectors for emphasis. We believe that in promoting tourism, we promote the nation's arts and culture. The corollary is also true. We promote arts and culture to feed tourism. So it is an intertwined entity. In our scheme of things, therefore, each of the three subsectors carries equal weight in policies, planning, and activities. For example, while we may consider the See Ghana, Eat Ghana, and Wear Ghana initiative as a tourism program, even a cursory observation will show that the activities that are held to promote the concept are creative arts and culture-based. In Wear Ghana, we invite Ghanaians to promote and patronize local fabrics and fashion, whose practitioners are listed as domains in creative arts and culture. In Eat Ghana, we are promoting local cuisine, an area that lies in the domain of culture. When this campaign sinks into the national psyche, and we intend to continue aggressively, the end result will sustain the tourism, arts, and culture. Alongside the promotion, music is played. Imagine our promotion without music. Be that as it may, the ministry has made it a conscious policy to give arts and culture specifically a pride of place, because it's only 3 years old. 2013, it was born. Though the Creative Arts Bill is yet to be passed into law as an act, and we salute the predecessors and the stakeholders who worked on it to get the bill, we are pleased to announce that the Creative Arts Council Secretariat has been established with a fully furnished office at Attic, with an interim executive headed by Mr. Okre Kumante, an industry person. This executive interim team have also put in place to oversee the affairs of the creative arts sector, to go out to conduct research, and as you are all aware, getting them funds was always a challenge, but they have not relented. They have put in place, and I'm reliably informed that on the 9th of February, after getting their office, getting a little budgetary support, they will hit the road. They have an onerous task to get the data of who indeed really is a stakeholder in the creative arts section. There are multiplicity of domains, including the beauticians, the sculptors, the artists, the dancers, the beat makers, a host of us that we need to get a directorate, a database, a real account of who is part and parcel of us. Theirs is also to go out there and sensitize stakeholders of the policies and programs within their domain. And the broad consultation is required for us to feed into the bill, to have a rich and an all-involving, all-encompassing bill to promulgate that into an act. It is on the agenda of Parliament as we speak. The leader has ensured that one of his members of Parliament, being my humble self, my noise and my push, has made it to the calendar. So we are hoping that in the next 34 days, he will help us with the support of the creative arts sector to put this into the plenary. As I speak, research in the film under the director of the Guild is already ongoing. They have already brought back their field work from Volta region, and it's very comprehensive. I was actually impressed. And they're setting off to do Eastern region and Central region. But again, we will give them the opportunity to be part of the Q&A as to what they have done. And if they have left anybody out, we will encourage them to make it an all-encompassing research and data gathering exercise. And also, I want to encourage the leaders of the Interim Creative Arts Council to be accommodating and supportive. If anyone comes up to them, okay, cool, I know you have a big stomach, support the questions, support the inquiries, because people are anxious and they want to know what we are doing, and give them the opportunity to also add their input. When such data is gathered and when such information is really put in a document that is a bankable project, their budgetary support. For the first time in 2018 budget, there was a budget line item for the creative arts. Their budgetary support will be asked for. Remember, it is not with us, it's at the Ministry of Finance. It will be asked for and it will be given to them. So they will go on ahead and put in place what is needed to support their agenda. The ministry recognized very early in its first year that the perennial issue of creative arts and artists and practitioners living in penury while their intellectual property enriches others was not a situation we were going to encounter and entertain. In consultation with some of the stakeholders, the senior ones and some of the advisors within and who want to remain behind the scenes, we identified one of the causes as the challenge of the artists, the practitioners, monetizing creativity. Artists, be they film, music stars, producers, directors, felt strongly that their toils were not being properly compensated financially and were always reluctant to invest their talent any further. That is what partly accounts for the absence of quality material locally to compete with the telenovelas that we have all. And I know that Socrates is a champion of anti-foreign things on our TV, and I've told him, and he works very hard with us as the director of creative projects at the NCC, that we can only compete effectively because as a nation and as a government, we do not and we cannot legislate content. Then that will be veering into censorship. So we as a ministry, in support of the private sector initiative, we have, and I can proudly say that we have Tourism TV. One of the answers to overcome, I don't want to mention anybody's name, the proliferation of other content on other stations. You have a place now. That is one. We also need to acknowledge that to encourage production houses to create Ghanaian content must view soaps, video features and dramas. Media General, I'm not singling out anybody, but I've seen it. Media General has done something that deserves the applause. The series Saadia, which started airing on TV3 a few weeks ago, is one of the answers to drown the telenovelas because it's a competitive global village that we're in. The quality is good. I urge you to see it. It is well scripted with a tight plot and a creative cast in the hands of a very creative director who is local. And I'm telling them they will have to compete with Tourism TV because they're going to get all our artists to put their content on ours. We also want to recognize the efforts of a private sector, Xylophone, who are also into the business of putting money in the pockets of our artists. Their latest creation, Xylophone Cash, is also an attempt to monetize creativity through a system of uploading Ghanaian movies to run via social media and pay the creative people by the number of hits their work attracts. This is a very normal international practice that has not been happening, and we commend the initiative. Over a period of time in our first year, we have also been in talks with a private sector operator who is in the business of placing Ghanaian content at the disposals of viewers throughout the world. And the artists are signed on to produce popular content, including already existing content that will run as a series in the name of the artist. And it's already showing on most of your mobile phones. This Sunday, today's Monday, this Sunday, I would like to invite most of you who will have the time on a Sunday to be at a Mall in partnership with this private sector person. We are launching Ejoko TV. It's a mobile TV platform that will be premiering at Accra Mall in an effort to promote local content. Local content. On Sunday, barring any obstacle, another one in the offing for music is Daddy Lumba TV, a channel that will be ready next month. And I had asked Mr. Daddy Lumba to be here. I think he's somewhere out there. And you will be amazed with this technology is TV on the go. A lot of people are using it. You buy, it's a link with a mobile company. You buy your units, you turn it on, and automatically it creates revenue for the artist. And they sign an agreement that we are very much involved, ensuring that the artist is not taken undue advantage of. So we launched the first one for Ejako, and the next one will be Daddy, and we're doing it in phases. A lot of our artists will be transitioned onto this mobile TV, and it's already in Zambia. They're showing it in the UK, they're showing it in the US, and Nigeria will be next month. So imagine putting money in the pockets of our artists through technology. Like the other projects in both tourism, arts and culture, such initiatives cannot happen by the ministry alone. It is in tandem with private sector, and we use this platform to encourage other private sector stakeholders to come on board and to support the promulgation of our artists, their talent, their work. We have taken a year to bring some of these initiatives to fruition. So bear with us. The years ahead will be more exciting. And now that we have, for the first time, I see my friend Mr. Kunodake here, we have been given 16 million cedis in the budget as capex. It's never happened in the history of our ministry. So we would encourage the entertainment writers to push the finance ministry. Allocation is different from release. So please do the editorials on allocation should equal release. We need our money so we can execute some of these exciting initiatives to put food on the table for some of us whose main talent is in our head. It is very, very interesting to see some of the young up-and-coming artists. Ladies and gentlemen, these are, in my humble opinion, some of the modest achievements that the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, with its supporting cast, the staff, its agencies, under the trying circumstances in the last 11 months, we've been in office for 11 months, have done. We have not realized all of our dreams. Some of them may sound crazy to you, because we want to do cable cars, we want to do this, but we believe strongly that together as a team, we can and we should. Nothing is impossible. So we will encourage each and every one of you to speak positively about our sector, but also make sure we have space for constructive criticism. We should not shun away from listening to dissenting views. It is very important so we know what is going awry, what can be done properly. It is impossible to do everything in 11 months, but we have a few months and a few years, by the grace of God, ahead of us, and with the mandate that you, through you, have given us with your support. We believe, however, that we have laid the foundation for a total fulfillment of most of the pledges set out in the manifesto of the NPP in 2016 for our sector. For a take-home, please, I'd like to, and this is off the script, so it will be one sentence. I'd like to bring my own initiative. You know, the directors and the speech writers, they limit you. I would like to institute a monthly dialogue with the entertainment industry. A monthly dialogue. We have oversight responsibility over all the hotels, the eateries, the sites. So we should be able to ask Kempinski to give us a monthly evening so we can sit and talk. It doesn't have to be this formal, in a relaxed atmosphere. So we eat Ghana, we wear Ghana, and we deliberate Ghana. So if I have the support of my chief director, who will have to fund and finance that initiative, I'd like to share with this august group that we will constitute a 5-member panel, and I'm already looking at those who will be part of it. Mr. Kunodake, Enimi Lashon, Mr. Franka Piaget, and I'll leave the 3 of you big gentlemen to find 2 women, because I'm a gender advocate, to ensure that this group will facilitate our monthly dialogue on arts, culture, tourism, but in a relaxed atmosphere. So we talk, and you use that opportunity also to share what is happening in the industry. E-dialogues monthly. For a take-home, please remember, it's our first year. There is more to come where these thoughts and ideas are coming from, but with God and us on our side, and with your support, a dedicated and highly motivated staff with shall succeed. Let me assure you that we are aware that many of you have terrific ideas about how our sector can succeed. We welcome them. We want to share, hence my initiative to have the e-dialogue. I'm not talking about only here at the Meet the Press, but also later on. My number is available. My team are available. We are accessible. Those who could not make it here, who are listening to us, are encouraged to share their ideas, since we are here to serve you. We also have our doors open, and we shall continue to keep them open to execute the vision of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And together we will say, God.
She would take a